Hey, good morning. It's Dan, the Life Regenerator Man. How you doing? I've got a video here I'm making for a friend. She didn't ask me to make a video, but it would be easier for me to answer this question because I think everyone wants to hear this. So, here we go. Where do you get your protein? Oh my God, the books tell me that I need this much, so much, so much protein. Well, I got to tell you one thing. You all know me. I'm a 98% raw foodist. And I gotta tell you, protein is the last thing on my mind personally. I'm gonna tell you this from my own perspective because obviously, as we evolve and learn more about this particular subject, we're gonna see more and more. We're gonna continue to learn. But here's what I've been shared with by a master healer. That he shared this with me, and this made sense to me, and this is how I've lived ever since. Okay, he said, for health, the order of importance is this: number one, you need your sugars. Why? Because cells run on sugars, so we're all a bunch of sugar addicts. Because if you don't feed the cells some kind of sugar, you're going to fall over. Trust me, if you water fast, you'll know. You'll be laying there, you'll be like, water fasting is awesome, but it's not that great to do while you're trying to run a marathon or deal with your day-to-day business, okay? So number one in order of importance is sugars. You got to feed the cells some sugars, whether that's fruit sugar, vegetable sugar. Can you dig it? Number two in the order of importance for health as far as nutrition goes is fatty acids, essential fatty acids. So whenever people talk about you need protein from the meat, I'm telling you right now, and every carnivore in nature will tell you this. If you could talk to a lion, he would tell you, he would say, oh no, it's not the protein that I want from the dead animal's carcass, it's the fat. That's right. You don't want all that protein in there. That if the lion could get the fat without the protein, with all that acid forming food, which makes him have to sleep 20 hours a day in order to buffer all that acidity. And by the way, most carnivores, after they kill an animal, eat the intestines first because that's where the nutrition is. Even for carnivores, they get all that plant-based nutrition out of the gut of the carnivore. So first thing they do is eat the plants out of the carnivore's guts. Then they want the essential fatty acids from animals. So if I were to ever eat animal products, and I may one day if I get called to it, so far it's been 10 years as a vegan, except a little bit of eggs. But if I ever do go back and eat animal type products for whatever health type reasons, you can be rest assured it ain't going to be for protein. It'll be for the fats, the essential fatty acids. So it's funny when all the people want to have these arguments with me that you have to eat animals, they don't even know that it isn't the protein that you don't want. It's the essential fatty acids that the animals gather from the plant-based nutrition. Okay? So there's number two, essential fatty acids, and a little bit of a tidbit for you to make some people think. It isn't the animal flesh and protein that you want because that's such an inefficient way to get amino acids, which is what the body uses to build its own healthy cells and tissues. Number three is the amino acids in the importance of nutrition for health. Okay? Now we're not going to go into minerals or anything like that. We're just talking about macronutrients. Okay? So let's get that right. First, you need your sugars for energy because when you're a baby, you run on baby mama booby fat. Okay? And then when you're fasting, you also run on fat. But as a functional adult, when you're in your day-to-day life, we all run on sugar. The brain runs differently on sugar than it does on the fats. There is no right or wrong. Sometimes I like to run off of fruit sugars and vegetable sugars, and sometimes I like to run off fat, essential fatty acids, avocados, man, and coconut fat. But most fully grown adults in our day-to-day life, we feed our sugars with the brain, and the brain function in that way. We pay our bills, we raise our kids, we go to work, and we use sugar to keep this thing up here busting away, so that we can do what we got to do to keep ourselves moving through this life. Okay, so sugars. Then you want to make sure you're getting plenty of essential fatty acids. I got I like avocados. I like coconut. I like, I got some of Brendan Brazier's Vega oil last night. I'm not a huge oil fan, but I feel like I'm just trying to experiment and adding a little more fat into my diet right now, and it's working pretty well so far. And then number 3 for the macronutrients is the amino acids. Now, I personally never even think of the question, where do I get my protein? Why? Because bananas have protein, amino acids. Grapefruits have amino acids. Okay, broccoli has tons of amino acids. Spinach has tons of amino acids. Now, most of you have seen what my body looks like. I'm not a big, buff, big and dumb bodybuilder like I used to be. No offense. I love lifting weights, but there's no way in hell I'm going to put getting big in front of being healthy and happy. I'd rather be slim and fit. I feel like I'm just perfect right now. I like my body the way it is. I go to the gym to stay fit and keep the muscle on, but I only have that muscle so that I can function and have fun and ride my bike and, you know, do my work around here, lift heavy things, move stuff around, just so that I can be functional. And of course, the aesthetic look is a side benefit that I like a lot. It's like your body is an art. So I do not worry about protein whatsoever. It's all book knowledge. And you'll see that they're all going by, they all read a bunch of books. All the nutritionists, all the dietitians. I've lived this for 10 years. And I've read the books written by the laymen who were space aliens who the world still has yet to keep up with, and yet saved their own life. So I just get the general overall gist. Okay, here's what you want to think about when when people are talking about protein. Think about this. Most of us, for one thing, are not trying to put on weight. So some of us are, and you do need amino acids for that. But think about this. As an adult, you're a fully grown house, okay? Now all these protein contractors are trying to convince you that you need more building materials. Doctors think that when you have cancer, you need more protein. That's the last thing you need. Yes, amino acids are great, but as an adult, now, you're going to grow up till you're about 35, to tell you the truth. So, yes, up until about 35, you do need more amino acids than someone who's over that age, okay? But you still don't need that much. What you need is utilization. But what I'm trying to tell you, because I only have 10 minutes to give you an hour lecture, is that, you know, the house is fully grown for most of us, okay? And now we've got all these protein contractors. You need more building materials. Well, what's going to happen if you order more building materials? Your house is going to be unlivable. You're going to have plywood stacked up here, bricks stacked up, paint brushes, drywall, electrical equipment. It's going to be all stacked up. You're a fully grown house, right? And now you're ordering more building materials? That's what they're trying to tell you. Protein structures from animals. Now, like I said, it's the fat you want when you consume animals. It's not the protein, because it's so inefficient to break down animal flesh, because you don't have the stomach acids anyways. You can ask any lion who's got 10 times more hydrochloric acid in his gut. You don't have as a human, we don't have the hydrochloric acid to break down animal products efficiently, to break down the amino acids, so it's inefficient, to say the least. I don't have any problem with anything, and I'm not against it. Like I said, it's the animal fats that are going to cause, if there's any deficiencies, it would be from that. Okay, and the jury's still out on that. I'm a raw vegan of about 10 years, and I ate eggs for a while when I was in New York a few years ago. Okay, so again, 10 minutes is not long enough, but I wanted to let you know that I do not personally worry about protein or amino acids myself, and you've all seen my body. I'm a relatively healthy guy. There's much more I want to learn. There's much more to experience. Personally, I feel like I've got some deep internal cleaning, because some of you know my past. I feel like I owe a debt, and I'm going to continue to clean out and detoxify and regenerate my cells and tissues. I don't worry about protein myself. There's plenty of it in bananas and grapefruits. So remember, sugars from fruits and vegetables, essential fatty acids from good sources of fat, nuts, avocados, and coconuts, and then worry about getting your amino acids, which is in everything. Amino acids are in everything. I also wanted to add that I do lift weights 2 to 4 times a week. I lift heavy, as heavy or heavier than the other guys in there that are twice my size, and I'm sure they're eating all the normal standard foods. So I go in there and I'm like half their size, but I'm squatting just as much or more than they are, and they're looking at me like, what in the heck is going on here? So if anybody tells you that fruit and vegetable protein doesn't cut the mustard, I'll have to disagree. I feel great, and I keep up with the big boys. Can you dig it? Fruits and vegetables works for me. So thanks a lot. Subscribe to these videos on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook. Friend me on YouTube. Comment, favorite, and rate these videos. Thank you very much, my friends. Keep up the good work. Let's keep this dialogue open. I want to learn from you just as much as you learn from me. Thank you.